Good morning, y'all. Hope you can hear me. This is Casey. I am doing the thing I have to do to make sure that I can get this broadcast on the air. A couple of funny little things I have to do. So, good morning. It is Friday morning. Make sure that I did make this go live. Hold, please. Sometimes I click the wrong button. Let's see. I think we are public. Okie dokie. Good morning, y'all. It is maybe it'll clear up today, but a little bit of a gloomy morning here. Let me see what we've got. Okay, good morning. Enough of the fiddling with the computer. Hi, my name is Casey Durango. I talk about the ketogenic diet and how it may be able to help you lose weight, improve your health, and regain control of your life. Good morning, all. Good morning, Karen. So glad to see you. Lori, Patricia, Linda, so good to see you. Hi from Austin, Texas. You're up a little bit early. Linda, it's gloomy where you are too. I tell you what, I'm about over the rain here. We had a beautiful day yesterday. And I did actually walked to a brunch a couple of miles away from my house that a friend and I were meeting. And it was beautiful. And I've committed to my patrons to increase my exercise. So I did a little patron-only exercise, walking in the beautiful sunshine video yesterday. But I don't know what I'll be doing today. Maybe it'll clear up. Top of the morning to you, Michelle Sanchez says. Top of the morning to you. Linnea Lorraine, good morning. You're on the treadmill watching. Good for you, girl. Listen, I do want to say at the beginning, hey, Lori, new low. After an 8-month stall. Fantastic, Lori. That's fantastic. Guess what? I had a new low as well. I had one yesterday morning, and I had a bigger one this morning. And Halamin says, good morning to you. It's night here in Japan, but glad I could catch this before going to bed. Thank you for joining from Japan. I am so tickled seeing the people from all over the world that join into this and how this is spreading. Okay, Alberta, Canada. Las Vegas. Good morning, Sherry. Okay, a couple of housekeeping things. If you are viewing this and it is not between 9 a.m. and about 10 a.m. Eastern Daylight Time on Friday, May 5th, Cinco de Mayo, then you are not seeing this live. If you do not enjoy live broadcasts, you might want to move on to another video because I will be interacting with the folks who have been kind enough to show up. Hey, Darlyn. Yeah, congratulations to all of us on the new lows. Sally Campbell, good morning from South Africa. Darren Bonder, good morning from Michigan. Laura Markham, good morning from Dallas. Love to see it. I do want to do something. I've been remiss the last couple of broadcasts, and I wanted to do this. So a little housekeeping on this as well. Good morning, Pamela. Your name's about to come up. She writes, good morning, sunshine. Loved the walk and breakfast with you. That was Pam is a patron. I want to thank people who over the last 2 or 3 broadcasts have done the super chats. For those of you who don't know, super chat is a little button you can click on and make a quick little donation. And this is not a solicitation, but I want to thank people because in the most literal sense, between super chat people and to an even greater extent, patrons, they make it possible for people like me to justify continuing doing on what I do. So I wanted to thank Claire Thomas from South Australia. She has contributed a couple of times super chats. Linda Flanagan, Mel JP, Astrid Cruz, Pamela Ramsar. She's crazy. You can stop now, Pam. Kim Nordigan, J. Marie, Greener Pastures 1000, and there's more. I'll share some more later. But I've been remiss about thanking those, like essentially thanking Thanking my sponsors. Okay, so let's get on to it. New low this morning. I hit a new low. For those of you who don't know, I've been at this a really long time. Thank you, Laura and Lori. You guys, honestly, Lori, you've done enough, but thank you. Lori writes, thanks to you and your videos, I made the tweaks to get the scale moving. And you know, that is a very important thing. I think we've talked about it before. It is really, really important. And thank you, Laura Markham, for your $10 super chat. That's amazing. We want an answer for our situation. We want a solution. Now, and part of this might be human nature. Part of this might be we've been kind of conditioned to this. Think to food companies, diet food companies that will send you food in packages. Just eat these foods and you will lose weight. 10 pounds in the first month or your money back. Ones that come in cans of shakes. Just have these twice a day in a sensible dinner and you will lose weight. So we're conditioned to, here's the solution for everybody. Guess what? There's no such thing. There are certain things, as Dr. Westman has said, if you follow a well-formulated ketogenic diet, he says, I can guarantee you at work, I won't guarantee you you will do it. But even within that can, keeping your carbs below 20, eating from page 4, I hesitate to say that anymore because I get 40 or 50 requests for page 4 every day, and I simply cannot respond to them. All of my patrons have access to my page 4 that I started with when I pulled it from the white coat video. I corrected some typos and things, but it's my PDF. Or you can go to Keto After 40 and Beyond, and up in the file section, it's posted there. You can do that. But anyway, keep your carbs below 20 a day, total, not net. Eat, if it's not on page 4, don't eat it, and eat only when hungry. That will work. At some point, you have to listen to your body, and you might have to downward adjust the volume of food you're eating. And that's what I have had to do slowly. So tweaking. I think, Lori, if I recall, it was cheese, glorious cheese, was maybe holding you back. Cheese is allowed, full fat cheese. It's one of the great things about the ketogenic diet, but it's not unlimited. And if you don't know what an ounce or 2 ounces of cheese looks like, it's very easy to overeat. So I do measure certain things. Now, I do now pretty much know what an ounce of Gouda looks like. An ounce of Jarlsberg. Not my favorite. I'm not going to buy that again. It was on sale at Costco. I love the Gouda. So I use my OXO food scale, which I really highly recommend. Great customer service. It measures in grams and ounces. And some things I measure in grams. So I started weighing certain things. It's very easy to overeat even allowed vegetables. So start tweaking. What does a serving of green beans look like? Guess what? It's not a half a plate of green beans. A ginormous salad chocked full of allowed vegetables. You might be overeating carbs and not know it because they're not unlimited. Leafy greens about the size of 2 fists. Non-starchy vegetables about the size of 1 fist. So tweaking, tweak. Test, measure, at least at the beginning, until you learn your baseline. When you learn where you can go and you get over the cravings and all that. But test, use the keto sticks. Yes, they are a vital tool and they are perfectly fine to use, particularly at the beginning. Some people say that after a long time, the acetoacetate does not register anymore because it's being reabsorbed. I can only tell you from my experience, both my husband and I have been in ketosis for over 3 years, and I still register on the keto sticks. Okay, but measure, test. Keep a little journal or a spreadsheet or a notepad. Patrons at a certain level get access to my weight loss spreadsheet, but you can add cells in there, and I'll do it for you if you want, to measure your glucose and your ketones. You can just add that to the next to the day's weight and say, wow, my weight's done something funny. Let me test my ketones. And let me think about what I ate yesterday. Did that trigger something? So I'm going to share with you. Ooh, I can't even do it. You know what? My weight loss today, as of today, y'all, I've lost, sorry, I'm clicking around. As of this morning, I've lost 96.9 pounds since starting keto. I am 17 pounds lighter than this day last year. I'm 99.4 pounds lighter than this day in 2013. And I'm 115 pounds lighter than my heaviest. Oh my gosh. 115 pounds. My heaviest that I know of on December 20th, 2000. Holy cow. I am overwhelmed. So that means, guys, that to get to what I think will be my final goal, I've got 3.8 pounds to go. When I reach that, I will weigh less than I did the day I got married. I was 22 and cute as a bug that day. Okay, guys, let's do this together. We can do it. So what did I do differently? What did I do differently? No, I didn't do anything differently. I now know what causes a weight loss stall. Husbands, sorry for all the gents in here. My lovely mate is out of town. He left Sunday. I haven't really tried to do anything differently. I believe what has been different is I've simply eaten less food. I'm not trying to eat less food, but he eats a breakfast every day of his life. He usually eats a lunch. It can be quite light, which I prepare for him most days. And then he'll maybe have, we'll have a different dinner, or maybe he'll have something left over from lunch or whatever it might be. But it's there. And so I'll have a bit of, even if I'm not eating dinner, I might cut off a chunk of his ribeye. Just that much of his ribeye, the fatty end, eat it. I might, if I've made a casserole, it's right there. I might just take a big old tablespoonful of it. That's what happens, is this kind of mindless eating. For me, anyway. Plus, I gotta tell you, I haven't had a vegetable since he left. I take it back. Yesterday's huge omelet that I had in a pancake house, that was the story, was a spinach Swiss omelet. Huge, huge omelet. I did ask whether it was made with shell eggs. Make sure if you're going out to a restaurant, particularly a pancake style type of place, and you're ordering eggs, if you're not ordering over easy, or something like that where you can actually see the eggs, if you're getting an omelet or scrambled eggs, ask and ask directly, are these shell eggs? Because my understanding is that some establishments, to make their eggs fluffy, they put in pancake batter. Or they use pre-packaged eggs out of a carton, which, we think can't be the best thing in the world. Anyway, so these were shell eggs. It's a local establishment. I asked several times, and I confirmed with the manager, actually. More on that in a second. And I got 2 sides of meat. I got a side of sausage patties and a side of sausage links. So in an establishment where everything centers around pancakes, waffles, toast, hash browns, biscuits, you can still eat. And I couldn't even finish the meal. It was so generous. Okay. I don't have a cute, Chow CEO writes, we would love to see your cute as a bug wedding pic. I don't have any wedding pictures. My husband and I knew each other 3 months when we got married. I didn't speak Spanish. He spoke only enough English to tweak my interest. And we got married on a Tuesday morning by a justice of the peace in South Boston. I mean, we met him in Faneuil Hall Marketplace. He picked us up. I will tell you, his name was Ernie Guarenti. He said, Guarenti, like guarantee. You're guaranteed to stay married. And we have been for 36 years. But we didn't have any wedding pics. And I have very few pictures from even my early life, my younger days. It's just, it was expensive to develop film. And we were broke. Talk about broke. We had to borrow the money to pay Ernie, the Justice of the Peace. Meredith Ribeiro de Fronso. Eggs stored in anything but the shell gross me out. Yeah, it doesn't sound good. Michelle Laughter. Hi, here from New York. Okay, I do want to add, because you've reminded me, I'm going to go back to thanking our sponsors, previous Super Chats. Yolanda Prince. Thank you, Yolanda. Darylyn. Deborah Shelton. Kelly O. Jenny Bickett, and Jenny's so generous as well. Joe Miller, Michelle Laughter, and Pat Ryder, who's been super generous. I mean, thank you guys for the super chats and all that. Yeah, Jean, I bet you do. I remember developing film. It was expensive, and then you get some shots that were no good. You say, oh man, I just spent all that money on crap. Linda, you're about 45 minutes from Boston. Yeah. Hi, Queenie. You're from Boston. Faneuil Hall is so gorgeous. We met when we both worked in 2 restaurants in Faneuil Hall Marketplace. And Faneuil Hall, this was in 1980, had just been, revitalized. It had been kind of a skid row. And, I took one look at that guy, and wow, that was it for me. Marilee, you got a couple of people in Ontario? And Michelle writes, oh, you're welcome. Thank you for taking the time to help us. I get a lot out of this. I really appreciate it. Pamela, would love to have him do your videos in Spanish. I know, right? It would help so many more that need it and that are dying of diabetes from eating all those carbs. For those of you who saw the broadcast of the live support group meeting, the first person, because I asked for new people to get up and share if they were new and what brought them there and everything. The first one was there. She was talking about her kids. She was pre-diabetic. She doesn't want her kids to be diabetic. Her husband. She was all about the diabetes. And I could tell from her accent that she was, she wasn't from around here. So I said, may I ask where you're from originally? She said, Puerto Rico. I think this is interesting because many people think that if your culture is based in carbs, it'll be very difficult to overcome. And we talked about that at the meeting. And you know what? All cultures are based in carbs, particularly the American culture, but every culture is based in carbs. Except for the Inuit. And many of them have been sucked up into our way of eating and the Maasai. So I do not know what about making these live things makes my nose want to run. So, I said, so how is your family? You Puerto Rican, it's all about tostones and rice and beans and potatoes. And she said, well, we just had to change it. My husband's culture, Colombia, he ate a lot of food and remained quite trim. He would eat large servings of rice at least 2 meals a day, often with large servings of beans, all of them slow cooked and traditionally thing. And the beans would have sweet plantains in them and all kinds of stuff. And we didn't have beans going. We had rice going, potatoes going. And I didn't think he'd give it up. And he did. Anyone can do this. Italians can give up pasta. The French can give up bread. Germans can give up potatoes. Brits can give up chips. We all can do this. We can give up pancake batter. We can do it. And we're all addicted to carbs. People say, I can't, I'm addicted to carbs. I'm addicted to carbs. If I went back today, it'd be a slippery slope, man. And it's not that, it's that our brain will tell us to eat more carbs, because if we start burning glucose, that's what it wants you to keep going. You can't store glucose in your blood. And blood is the only thing that gets to the brain. So if you can't store it, you need more of it. That's how that works. Kind of. That's super simple. But anyway. Now, I don't know what that was. My computers keep talking to me. Do any of you have like Cortana on a computer and Siri on your phone? And I'm on a Mac. I don't know if there's Siri on this Mac or not, in Alexa. And they just start talking to you. Creepy. Let's get to some Q&A. Okay, you guys are answering each other's questions, which I really like. How much did I eat at the beginning? This comes up a lot. I ate a lot of food, a whole lot of food. I was 96.9 pounds heavier. Was that right? Was that the number? I have to go back and look. I'm sorry. That number stuns me. 96.9 pounds. I ate a large fatty breakfast. I would eat a large fatty lunch. I would eat shredded cheese. One of my favorite things in our house, we call it pizza sin harina, which means pizza without flour. Shredded cheese, some pepperonis, red pepper flakes, maybe some jalapenos. Pop them under the broiler on parchment paper or a Silpat for 90 seconds, and I would eat that. Just, oh, it was delicious. Then I'd eat dinner, big dinner. But I couldn't do that for long. It was just, my appetite was suppressed. And very quickly. So things started falling away. The lunch would fall away. I wouldn't eat the hamburger with the cheese and the mayonnaise, hamburger patty. I would just have maybe the breakfast and then the pizza sin harina and then the dinner. And then the pizza sin harina fell away. And then the breakfast got later. And then the dinner, maybe I ate half of it. And so it just kind of peeled away. Again, back to what Lori was saying. You tweak. You listen. I didn't need as much food. I didn't want as much food. And as I lost weight, my energy needs reduced. And I'm older. So I ate a lot. I didn't track it. The only thing I tracked was carbs. That's the only thing I calculated. I never looked at a macro. I, to this day, do not care about macros. I keep a lot of data. My spreadsheet has tens of thousands of data points in it. No joke. I've weighed more, I've measured things other than just weight and glucose and blood pressure. I had my own food spreadsheet that were tied into things and METs, and it was pre-MyFitnessPal, and I figured all of it. I measured exercise laps when I was trying to do exercises regularly. I measured BMI and BMR and everything calculated back to everything else. But one thing I never paid any attention to was macros. Let's listen to this. Macros are a result. That's a measurement that looks backwards as a result of lots of people eating a well-formulated ketogenic diet. And how do those macros fall out? Not, here's what you need to eat for a ketogenic diet. If you like doing it, do it. I don't care. You don't care what I do. No one else should care what anyone else is doing. If it works for you, do it. But if you don't want to mess with all that, don't mess with it. I never paid any attention. Michelle, thank you so much. Thank you for that super chat. I wish you would ask questions, because the super chats get pinned to the top. And if I miss them as you're asking them, but you're super chatted, then it gets pinned to the top and I can look at them. Not that I have all the answers by any means. Anyway, do what works for you. But I never paid any attention to macros. You know why? Because it was never in any of the literature I read. Dr. Westman never talks about macros. The Art and Science of Low Carbohydrate Living, which is my go-to reference doesn't talk about how many things you should be eating. Dr. Finney, to this day, someone asked him, how many grams of protein do you eat? He says, I have no idea. I don't measure that. He eats a well-formulated ketogenic diet. He eats when he's hungry and he stops when he's satiated. Keeps his carb below the level that works for him. Mine is below 20. You know, a 6-foot tall man who's very active may be able to get away with more total carbs than a 5'1" puny person, postmenopausal lady. So find what works for you. Happy Sika 82. Good morning. Okay, Mona Post, what to eat after sports? Just fat? You know what? Listen to your body. I'm increasing my exercise level. I might join a fantastic facility that I just found out about. It's quite new. It is the student athletic facility, the gym at UNCG, University of North Carolina at Greensboro. I'm an alum, so I get quite the rate on it, and it is a stunning facility. It's only been open a few months. Man, oh man. It's got a pool. It's got a sauna, which is worth the price of admission for me. It's got an indoor track. It's got bastante de equipo. It's got so much equipment. It's got yoga classes and all kinds of classes and stretching stuff and all this. I will not be increasing my carbs. And yesterday I jogged when I went to the brunch. Not all of it. It was a 4-mile round trip. A little bit more because I stopped at the post office. So it was about a 4-mile round trip, and I jogged part of it. I didn't eat anything after that. I mean, I'd eaten the big brunchy breakfast. It took us about an hour to eat. And I didn't eat anything for the rest of the day. So eat some hard-boiled eggs. I don't know. Maybe people who are exercisers and keeping low-carb ketogenic can answer that. And I know that Jeff Volek, who is an exercise expert on the ketogenic diet, said being keto adapted is a fantastic way to be if you're an athlete, even these elite endurance athletes. Okay, I'm sorry, these are going by quickly. Alinda, just keep going if it works for you, Michelle, and don't tell the doctor. If they won't listen, listen, doctors are they're not superhuman. And a lot of them just don't know. They're just ignorant of the facts. And some of them are willfully ignorant. But many just have not been taught, or they've been taught the wrong thing, and they're taught nothing about nutrition. Keto Queenie, Michelle, there are websites that list keto-friendly doctors in every state. Let me tell you what, if you have, full disclosure, my husband and I are investors in this. But we became investors before I wrote the first blog post or made the first video or did anything. We became investors with Heal Clinics because we believed in putting our money where our health is. And my husband was so happy to see the change in me as a person that we felt very strongly about it. Dr. Westman is the chief medical officer. It's a very small company. It's a startup. And there are clinics popping up around that we're trying to get. If you know of a medical doctor or a nurse practitioner or a PA that might be interested, get in touch with me, and she or he can become part of the Heal Clinics network. If you want to see Dr. Westman, you can actually remotely. Again, reach out to me. I'll tell you how to reach out to him. You can go by Skype. If you have a medical condition, you do have, if you're on medications for things, that needs to be cleared, and there's a process for that. And then you can see him remotely. If you're in the area, you can go see him. If you're around Durham or you want to drive. Evelyn Darty, do you think your liver has healed? Is that question to me, Evelyn? Because I'll tell you, my liver's in tip-top shape, and I'm really happy to hear that because I drink an adult beverage or two at least every night. So it was the only thing I was concerned about. Okay, going too quickly. I can't read these. Bacon. Sorry, autocorrect. Once fat adapted, fasting comes easily. Yeah, Dr. Westman says that humans can live a day. excuse me, 2 days for every pound of body fat on our body. So many of us could live a long time. Good morning, Sonny. Good morning. I love your avatar. It always makes me smile when I see it. Linda writes, Sophia, eat a little more fatty meat until you are no longer hungry. I know it slows some weight loss, but once you are no longer hungry, then you can reduce your food intake. Evelyn, did I have liver disease? I guess you're asking me. I never had liver disease. I might have had fatty liver. I don't know. I didn't, not that I know. I was very heavy and all my blood markers were poor. I was on the edge of everything bad. But now it's all great. Hey, Ruth. Darren Bonder, I had 3 stents put 3 years ago. Is this a good diet for me? Dr. Westman says specifically that there is no situation for which the ketogenic diet is contraindicated. And this is an excellent diet for those with heart issues. Excellent. It ain't gonna hurt. Your cholesterol's forget about the overall cholesterol number. Your triglycerides are gonna come down. Your HDL is gonna go up. Your small sticky LDLs are gonna reduce in number, and your big fluffy ones are going to increase. It's a really great way. It's the small sticky LDL that are the ones that build up in the plaque. Most people, when they go to the doctor, they don't know what their small sticky LDL are because the doctor doesn't order the NMR lipid profile. Okay, they give you some VLDL and LDL ratio or something. But ask for an NMR. You might have to, pay a little bit extra for it, but shoot, it's worth knowing. Our health is valuable. Don't be afraid of the fats, from Michelle Wright. Sophia, don't be afraid of the fats. Eat the fats that come with the meats. You don't have to add a lot of fat. If you want to, do it. If it works for you, do it. But that's not the name of the game. The name of the game is keeping your carbs low and eating sufficient protein, and the rest will be fat. Dr. Westman says if you eat nothing, eat a protein. Okay? If you have access to no other food and you can't eat for a week, eat protein. Our body must have protein for cell function. Carbohydrate is not an essential nutrient, so you can go forever without a carb. I've been going since Sunday, since my lovely mate, early Sunday morning. And I haven't, other than the little bit of spinach that was in that omelet yesterday. And I probably won't. Karen Coffee, I don't get hungry, so I usually only eat 1 meal a day, but some people tell me I'm not eating enough. I'm keeping my carbs below 20. Comments, yeah, tell them to go pound sand. What do they know that you're not eating enough? If you're only eating when hungry, why are you going to eat if you're not hungry? Or if you don't want to eat? Would you listen to someone and say, you're not sleeping enough? If you're someone who only needs, like my husband, about 5 hours of sleep a night. Well, honey, you're not sleeping enough. I insist that you go lie down right now. No. No. I eat 1 meal a day. Many people eat 1 meal a day. Jean, you want to tell people how often you eat? Jean O'Connor, share with us how often you eat, sweetie. Terry Davis, what are other types of healthy fats other than avocados, nuts, eggs, coconut oil, etc.? Well, the fats that come with the meats, the ribeye fat. And keep in mind, Terry, nuts are not on page 4. And coconut oil is not on page 4 other than for sauteing. I mean, do what you want to do. But I don't do them. I don't add them. Chicken skin, fantastic. Fatty meats. Okay, Jean, Casey, you have a nurse from Holland who wants to get in contact with Westman. Thank you for letting me know. Don't message me through YouTube. The messaging thing is not great here. Email me at casey@caseydurango.com and put in the memo, the subject line, Dr. Westman. Jean, she eats 1 meal a day every other day. A friend of mine, Jean, who saw the live broadcast, the woman I was having brunch with, said, I wonder what she does eat on that one meal. I said, I don't know. Karen, yeah, keep doing what you're doing. Eggs cooked in butter. Ooh, so good. Avocado oil, pumpkin oil. Ooh, I haven't heard about pumpkin oil, Marjolaine. Yeah, not sleeping enough sounds like my hubby. Just because he sleeps 7 hours, I'm supposedly only need 7 hours. I used to need more, but now I wait more than him. And you know what? I'm about an 8-hour-a-day sleeper, but some days I wake up alert and feel great, and I will have slept 5 hours. Some days I eat more than others. Some days I sleep more than others. Some days I'm in a crappy mood. Not depressed, but in a crappy mood. Some days I feel like I could rule the world. Listen to your body. Do what works for you. We cook with bacon fat as well. We keep a jar of it on the side of the thing. You know, we cook almost everything in bacon fat, except really light things like maybe shrimp, scallops. If there's a delicate, halibut, when we have, fish and seafood, we'll use coconut oil. And my pancakes that I make for my husband on Saturday mornings, I use coconut oil for those because it adds a little bit of that nice little extra, not sweetness, but a little extra dimension. Sophia P., I used to sleep for 10 hours and wake up super tired, and now 8 is more than enough. It's great. So many things for me have been improved. Someone's talking about calories a day. I almost never get over about 800 calories of food a day. And then I have adult beverage that'll push me over to about 1,000. But I'm thinking of stopping posting what I eat on MyFitnessPal. I'm concerned that other people are going to think that that's what they need to be eating. And some people have more energy needs than I. I don't want anyone to think that they need to be doing what I'm doing. I'm not restricting myself. I'm simply listening and keeping in mind the calories I'm eating by mouth are only a portion of what my body's eating for energy needs. And today's new low is a proof of that. It ate body fat. I'm assuming body fat. I don't think it was a whoosh. I think because I don't feel any different. Everything's pretty good. Your body will eat the energy it needs from your body fat when you're keto adapted. That's the whole point. Do what works for you. Jean, you eat about 630 calories a day. Jean, is wearing size 18 trousers, and they are baggy on her. Mona Post. Oi, Goff got good? Goff got good? Good? Okay, that is not English, and I don't know what that means. I want to come back to something. Marjolaine, de Facebook página. Página. The Facebook page. Okay. Marjolaine, ja, zeker ben je op página is super. I would love to learn all these languages. I have a slight facility for language. I would love to learn more. Okay, Linda. Sharon writes, I love the soft elbow skin I have now from eating fats. Okay, 2 topics I want to cover before I forget, and let me not let my time get away from me. There's actually 3 topics. I want to make clear about the low carb support group meeting from Durham that I broadcast. May or may not do that publicly again. But I want to clarify something. Dr. Westman, even just this morning in an email I was copied on, he was directing someone to contact me about an unrelated subject, said the Durham support group meeting is now run by Go Keto with Casey. As far as Dr. Westman is concerned, this is now my group. The Durham support group meeting is my group. So that's what that is. He comes to them, and I hope he will continue to come to them. He has not indicated that he'll stop. But he does that because he does not want to do all the talking. He is by nature a quiet person. He gets up and talks in front of lots of people because he wants to spread the word. But he likes the fact that there's a big mouth who will manage the meetings, keep things going along, ask leading questions. And he likes the fact that there's a face of a person who's been successful on the diet in front of other people who need to be successful on the diet. Okay, that point is made. Second point, at the pancake house yesterday, I asked the manager whether there would be room in the back, they have a room in the back, where I might be able to have a little group of people have a meeting. She said, absolutely. And so when I was telling her what it would be about, she said, I need to get on that. She's a young lady that is overweight. And just 2 weeks ago, she was diagnosed with type 2 diabetes. Her young husband already is on insulin for type 2 diabetes. So here's the plan. I'm going to test for interest, and I may have a support group meeting in Greensboro, North Carolina, at the back of a pancake house in the evening, like on a Tuesday evening or a Wednesday evening or something like that. If I can, I'll put out the word and I'll see if there's any interest. And we'll go from there. I'm just going to play it by ear. We'll see what happens. Maybe nobody will show up. Maybe it'll just be two of us looking at each other, and we'll order, burgers without buns or steaks with a side of green beans. So just putting that out there. And there was something else. Someone talked about something that I wanted to. Now I can't remember what the third point was. Terry, you have four. Oh, Terry Farlow. Terry, I don't want to put out there in front of the world stuff you may not want. Terry at the support group meeting wore, the one that was broadcast, wore a t-shirt she made, excellent craftsmanship, and the fabric was a print of bacon. You had to look at it to realize that it was bacon. It was colorful. And people, Terry, have let me know that they want that shirt. And she bought custom-made fabric. So Terry, I don't know whether you have an online shop. I don't know whether I can host it for you on my blog. Speaking of which, mugs are going out today. I spent all last night packing. Today I'm going to double check and make sure the printing label that I printed is okay. And mugs are going out. Another shipment is expected, and there'll be a shipment of smaller mugs. These are big mugs. And if you can see next to my head, it's a big mug. And they weigh 1 pound and an ounce themselves, empty, and it'll hold 15 ounces. So that's a heavy mug. You'd get your exercise in just drinking your coffee. But I'm going to order 11.5-inch ounce mugs. And wine glasses, stemless wine glasses that say, all I want to do is drink wine and talk about keto. I don't know how those will work out. And then there might be some refrigerator magnets coming that say, are you here out of hunger or out of habit? And maybe we'll get t-shirts that say food is not the boss of me. I'm excited about this. Sophia, I'm now in Ireland, Cork, but I would go back to Lisbon next week. Wow, you are well-traveled. Birdie, 33 keto, yay. First time catching you live. I love your videos, even though I'm not over 40 or beyond. All of us here wish all of us who are over 40 and way beyond, wish we knew then what we know now. N'est-ce pas? Cynthia Norman, wind me up. In Portugal, there is not much of keto support, but a lot of people are starting. I put my mom in this diet, and she's much better now. Christina, check on UPS at FedEx shipping. Maybe they'll pick up if you ship enough. No, I actually spent a lot of time, Christina. Thank you. For these, the U.S. Post Office is the best bet for me, and I do it from home. For down. It just saves me about $1.30 per box. So I don't want to. I don't mind breaking even. I don't want to go in the hole. Skin. Thank you so much, Paige. Skin. The question, understandably, comes up a lot about skin. My body skin is in better shape than I would have expected, having lost 96.9 pounds and 115 off of my heaviest weight. And I had a 10-pound son. Our middle child was 10 pounds, and I'm 5 feet 1 inches tall. He was a big kid. So I would have thought, oh, it's going to be a mess. It's not flat, it's crepey, but it's not awful. Same thing with my arms. I've got, I mean, if you, I don't know if you can see or not. I mean, you know, that's about the way my tummy is. I don't have hanging skin. I don't have folds of skin. It could be genetics. Many people will quote autophagy, which was actually a man who won the Nobel Prize, came up with that theory that skin, that cells, body cells, will kind of repair themselves. And the theory is, and we don't, it's theory, that perhaps because I've lost slowly, it's not a theory about me, but slow weight loss, for one thing, allows the cells to essentially cannibalize themselves as they reproduce new. The other thing is, there's a theory, a woman that was at last month's support group meeting, that, and she sees a lot of damaged skin from trauma, from surgery, and people who've had bariatric surgery, and she saw that Dr. Westman's patients didn't have the same kind of hanging skin. Her theory, and she says she's not a doctor, is that because the ketogenic diet is anti-inflammatory, we know that, and skin is an organ, it's our largest organ, maybe the anti-inflammatory properties help with that. As far as my face, people have asked about my face, and people are kind to say that they say I look younger than I did in my previous before pictures. I don't know if that's true. All I see, of course, are the wrinkles and the flaws, but that's because I'm a human woman, so that's all we see. It could be genetics. It could be good luck. It could be the diet. It could be the fats. I eat a lot of fat. You know, when I'm eating something, it's got fat in it. My skincare, I hesitate to tell you my skincare regimen, because I will get people telling me I'm going to ruin my face with what I do. I've got people telling me I'm going to ruin my body because I don't eat enough vegetables. And that's okay. I wonder if other people's skin just feels and looks better without making any other changes other than the nutrition. Love to hear that. Sophia P. I would never guess that skin would improve so much. Are you talking about your skin, Sophia? Cynthia Norma, slow loser here. Linda, I don't see any flaws. Thank you. I have an interesting flaw, which I've actually come to embrace. I had a little cancer removed here. And so the result is a white dot, which can be distracting. But look what I love. I have a mole here. It's always been here. It's dark. You know, I decided, and they're almost exactly perfectly placed opposite each other. It's yin and yang, or yin and yang, as it's pronounced, or however it's pronounced. I have a dark one. I have a light one. My body is in harmony. That's the way I look at it. Mona Post, I'm sticking with this lifestyle. Good. Terry Farlow, major improvement in my skin. Evelyn Doherty, me too. First time live, love it, love it. Excited. Okay, good. Acne since you were 12 and is much better now. See, all these things that have afflicted us. Joint pain, fibromyalgia, skin rashes. And they're saying dementia, Alzheimer's. These are inflammation. This is such an anti-inflammatory way to eat. Pamela, thank you. I'm a little spark plug beauty. Yeah. Thank you. I'll take spark plug. Bridgie 33 Keto. My skin improved greatly when I cut out dairy along with keto, but I was tested and have a dairy sensitivity. You know, here's something interesting. Bridgie or Burgie, or however you like, however that is pronounced. Some people have found that they had dairy sensitivity. When they became fully keto adapted, it went away. Isn't that interesting? You know, as Dr. Westman says, so many tests are done and standardized to people who are sugar burners, glucose burners. And the tests and standardizations have not been done on people who are fat burners. Sophia, how many vegetables do I eat? Like proportion in a plate? Well, Sophia, I don't eat many. I have not eaten, essentially I've eaten none since Sunday. My husband's been out of town. But when I do eat vegetables, and it's usually because I'm eating dinner with him and I've made the meals, I keep it to about 4 ounces. So it's not in proportion to the plate. As a matter of fact, I move my plate down, so I now eat off of a bread plate instead of a dinner plate. 4 ounces or less by weight. And I do measure the vegetables because that's where my carbs come from. Page value. When you felt low or discouraged at the beginning, what helped keep you going? Okay, Paige, are you asking that of me or a response to someone else? Because I'll tell you, I wasn't discouraged at the beginning at all. I was stoked. First week, I lost 8 pounds. It slowed up greatly from then, greatly. I'm a slow loser, but I felt better within about 2 weeks. And I'm talking about aching joints, my brain coming back, and my chronic depression that I'd had for years. I have not had a glimmer of it in over 3 years. There was no turning back for me. I didn't care whether I didn't lose another pound. I felt so great. So no, I didn't get discouraged. I just kept going. I focused on how much better I was feeling. The scale was great. It took me a while to get used to being smaller. That was weird, a weird transition, you know, from my body bumping into things to me being able to squeeze into little tiny spots, you know, strange sensation. I use a salad plate, but plan to go smaller. It really helps with portion size. Any little trick that helps you, I think, is good. Okay, Linda Leiterbach. I love having coffee with you ladies. Sets my weekend on a good note. Happy Cinco de Mayo. Okay, yes, and Sophia, 4 ounces is 100 grams or less if anyone else is like me on the metric system. I have had the request to please start speaking in metric as well as whatever our system is called, because there are people now from all over the world. So I will try to remember to do that. Thank you, Sophia. Scrap and Alley. Hubby has seen how it helped me, and I heard him talking on the phone to his cousin about this diet because he is having heart problems. Never knew who was watching and taking notice. It was cute. You know, my husband trailed behind me about 6 months, same thing. He just kind of sat there and watched. And he now is preaching it to 2 of his cousins, both of whom are medical doctors, who have not been believers down in Colombia. And my husband down there right now, he's down there. He said, guess what? He called one of his cousins' names. He says, turns out he's been watching your YouTube channel. JC, hola. Si está mirando, cuida mi esposa, okay? Muchas gracias. Now, speaking of coffee, it's going to take me a while logistically to do it, but I committed to this and I'm going to do it. People who buy the mugs, the coffee mugs, I'm going to arrange to have, it'll have to be in small groups because we sold 30 in 18 hours. Video chat, live video chats in groups. This is where everyone can see each other and talk to each other and hold up your mug if you want to. And you don't have to have coffee in it if you don't want to. And I'm going to do that. So I've got all your email addresses, and I'll try to get that because it's going to be challenging because of time zones and schedules. So there we are. Thank you, the empirical system. Thank you. Older Canadians like me are imperial too. Anybody else lie down in bed at night and feel around and feel the hip bones coming back and the sense of padding leaving? I do it every single morning before I get up. It's what I do. I feel my hip bones and my belly. And I love to do this. I love to put my hands around my wrists. Now I can do it like this with my ring finger. And I can do it way down my wrist, and I can do it on both wrists. I love that. I love to feel bones where I couldn't feel them before. I love my clavicles, which are up in here. Don't love this, but I love my clavicles. Linda Shorn, I want the larger cup. Are you going to order any more? Yes, they're on their way, actually. Thank you to Campus Marketing. See them at campusmarketing.com, not for ordering mugs. But if you have anything you need done, t-shirts, mugs, promotional items, any of that stuff, they have been fabulous. So yes, I was just speaking with my marketing guru there yesterday, and I'm getting a shipment of the large, a shipment of the small, a shipment of the stemless wine glasses. We'll see about the magnets. I want t-shirts that say food is not the boss of me. And I was thinking of canvas shopping bags. Down the side it just says, this bag is a carb-free zone, or something like that. I don't know. I'm not going to retire off of this, but I get such a kick out of people being interested in this gear. And I've learned a lot about shipping. It's very interesting. Lori Van Cole, I have back ribs. Who knew, right? Right? My husband loves to rub my ribs, among other things. It's a happy secret too. Can't wait for the wine glasses. Me either. Now, they're not going to say go keto with Casey or anything. Everything can be a promotion of me, but I think it'll be fun. And then we can have a wine chat. When I saw my collarbone for the first time I was over the moon too. Turkey neck I can do without, but such is life. I'm right there with you. Yeah, I get lunch. Pamela Terry, have it resized so it doesn't fall off. I had to buy a new bed. I had no idea how uncomfortable it was until I lost my padding. I'm not sure what needs to not fall off. Love the shopping bag idea. I think that's fun. I'd use it. Because that way you spread the word, right? You get to be an ambassador. What do you mean it's a carb-free zone? You need carbs. No, you actually don't. In point of fact, that's scientifically incorrect. What do you mean you don't eat any carbs? Well, I eat very few. I eat 20 or fewer a day. Oh, really? How's that working for you? Don't you have no energy? No. I mean, you start a conversation. There'll be little pods of support group things going around here. Silver Bleedy, I enjoy it here. What a nice thing to say. Oh, wedding ring. Terry, your wedding ring? Yeah, I'm going to have my rings resized. Yeah, for sure. Ooh, wine chat. I'm in. Me too. I love it. Great quotes. My marketer, I call her my marketer, has really great ideas. She's come up with some really cool things. It's a little embarrassing. I feel a little too center of attention-y, but we'll see what happens. I love the live meetings since I live in Pennsylvania. Very helpful. Life and struggle information. They were moving stories. It was one of the best meetings we've had. I'll be really blunt with you. I've considered only live broadcasting to the patrons for that, and I've talked about it. I'm trying to be transparent here. It's part of it is like no good deed goes unpunished. And to have personal things said about me, I didn't appreciate. Most everyone is so kind, and they just kind of hit me sideways. I'll get over myself. But it helps so many people. I'm now seeing, I'm getting comments about it, and that it helps people. So I'll just have to figure that out. Oh, you get but how's your cholesterol? Stellar. And you can explain to people that a cholesterol number is meaningless. It's triglycerides, HDL, the ratio between those two, small sticky LDL, big fluffy LDLs. That's what is important. And so isn't that great that you'd be able to educate somebody and maybe change their lives without you ever even knowing it? Lisa Doria, I gave my tailor info the other day when I picked up from my gown from a military ball I'm attending tonight, and she mentioned, I think you are even thinner than last week. Now that is a non-scale victory. No joke. Linda Reed, girls at the office giving me a hard time about carbs. Then a lawyer walked in and mentioned how great I looked and agreed with me about carbs. Too bad it took a man's okay to change the women's minds. Yeah, at least you're strong. I know, not worrying about the haters. It just hit me sideways. It just did. Like I said on last night's Facebook Live, I am human. If you prick me, do I not bleed? Tried a few times to become a Patreon and the payment screen never loads. Anyone else? I need to do it on a particular computer. No. If you go to Patreon and you ask for help and it goes for I want to be a patron, the help desk is actually pretty good. You can email them. Just send them an email and you'll hear back. Okay, Lori, I had my blood work done after 1 year and it's perfect. Okay? Lori, do you measure for ketones? I'm going to be collecting names of people who are interested, people who've been in ketosis for a while and whose blood work has improved. Golly, Linda, my cholesterol's come down from 48 in December to 186 last week. Wow. Karen from Alaska, Sarah, try on your computer. Okay, you guys, it has now been an hour. I don't want to overstay. Was there anything else I wanted to cover? I do want to let you know, all you wonderful patrons particularly, and people who have donated on the blog, I was waiting on a new stack of note cards so I can write proper thank you notes. The little business cards in them. Be looking for your mugs. I hope to get all of these shipped today with tracking numbers and to let you know the tracking numbers. And but let's spend the last, I want to end I want to spend the last minute. I want people to share either what they are planning to overcome this coming weekend that they've struggled with and they will overcome it, or any of their victories that they want to share, or anyone that they've influenced through their own personal experience and now someone else is on board, or at least trying. So can we do that? I want you guys to share your stuff. Tierra LaFrance, how often do you exercise? I'm just starting. My pat phrase is, I don't exercise, I just dress like I do. But I am starting to, because I committed to my patrons that I was going to do that. So I'm going to do that. I think I'm going to join this gym in addition to my total gym and all the other things I'm going to be doing. Linda Reeve, have a great weekend. See you Monday. Love from Montreal. Au revoir. Thank you, Casey. Please bring some to the next NC meetup at the Hilton, please. Yes, I can do that, Christina. You're at your high school. Wait, Janie Bug. Congratulations. Scrap and Ellie, I have my blood work done on Monday. We'll keep you posted. Good. I'm going dairy-free this weekend. Okay, Lori. Lori, you don't test for ketones. Okay, that's cool. Paige, thank you. Love these chats. Look forward to seeing you. I'm going to overcome all my self-doubt and negative self-talk. That's huge. Get that negative stuff out there. I must not get bored and won't eat. In 1 month, my acne is better. My anxiety is much better. I can sleep and don't feel so tired, says Sophia P. Jesse Blanchard, I need to overcome smoke salted almonds. Get the nuts out of the house. Pamela Renz, I'm so good to be walking again. Great. Happy Secret 2, no bite streak. I'm in ketosis, but haven't broke the toddler plate habit. Not sure what that means. Christy Eichelberger, I made it to 100.5 pounds down yesterday, and I have 3 people request all kinds of info to try to start changing lives, influencing people. And congratulations on that fantastic weight loss. Christine Leiterbeck, I have 5 friends going keto, most diabetic, and my dad is doing this for his Parkinson's. Wow. Bill JP, is my doc now telling her other patients to go keto after starting your turnaround? I don't know, but she says that she does see other people with low carb, and she went from being skeptical and kind of not rolling her eyes, she's not that type of person, but being fearful to, wow, keep it up. Reaching my goal weight within C. I'm sure I can make it, okay? Sharon Perks, thanks so much, helping me so very much. Janie Bug, hey, take care us Taurus are tough, 59 on Saturday. I was 59 on Sunday. Sophia, congrats. Lori Fisher, I'm going to stay the course even though the scale will not budge for months now. Lori, tweak, tweak, tweak. Look at things like cheese. Are you eating only when hungry? Get yourself empty and realize that empty is not necessarily hunger, and you don't have to eat just because you're empty. Tweak. Sandra, down 26 pounds in 2 months. Fantastic. Pamela Rensard, Christy, fantastic. Christy, thank you. Sophia P, for me, this is not a diet, it's my new lifestyle. Thank you. Sophia P, yes, for me too. Lori, don't give up. Hang in there, says Pamela. Absolutely. Jesse, thanks again for a wonderful start to your day. Great. Thanks so much. Silver Bleedy. Oh, ha. Just realized not everybody knows C is a smiley like, oh, thank you for sharing that. Susie Kirby, we'll have a walking weekend. Looking forward to it. Stamina much. Ginger Parrot, down 25 pounds, 7 weeks. I've been in ketosis for 3 weeks. Bravo. Lori Fisher. Good advice, Casey. Think I eat out of habit and boredom sometimes. I did too, and I stalled. And once Dr. Westman asked me, are you eating only when you're hungry? Nope. And I started asking myself the question when I stood in front of the fridge, am I here out of habit or out of hunger? And I turned away because I wasn't hungry. Okay, guys, thank you so much. I'm way over an hour. Have a great weekend. Thank you for the support. And be looking for your mugs, and we'll keep on plugging, okay? See you Monday morning if you can make it for that. And I'll try to get some old school videos posted as well. Karen writes, exercise this week, actually have muscles in my abdomen. They hurt. Very good. Okay, I'm going to count down. Gave away 10 bags of clothes. Wow. Have fun buying new. Yeah, indeed. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Thank you. Back to you guys. Be kind to yourselves. Keep your carbs below 20. If it's on page 4, don't eat it. Eat only when you're hungry. Ciao.